Marvel Studios announced that they are delaying Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars from May to December releases. Avengers Doomsday is now releasing on December 18th, 2026, moved back from May 1st, 2026, and Avengers Secret Wars is now releasing on December 17th, 2020. Plot elements of Doomsday are just now going to be reworked as a result of this Thunderbolts post-credit scene we saw, where they watched the Fantastic Four ship arriving to Earth. Like, we're gonna have to deal with that. Or New Day, which is coming July 31st, 2026, went from being a release between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars to now coming before Doomsday. Spider-Man instead be its own story, picking up with Peter Parker after the events of Spider-Man No Way Home as a street-level superhero, unaffected by any of the Disney releases in the next few years. The Fantastic Four First Steps still coming July 25th, 2025. Zootopia 2 coming November 26th, 2025. Avatar Fire and Ash December 19th, 2025. A removed MCU release date. Then The Devil Wears Prada 2 May 1st, 2026. The Mandalorian and Grogu coming May 22nd, 2026. Toy Story 5 coming June 19th, 2026. Moana, a live action Moana, coming July 10th, 2026. Spider-Man Brand New Day coming July 31st, 2026. Technically a Sony production, co-produced with Marvel Studios. Avengers Doomsday coming December 18th, 2026. 3 MCU releases this year, and that was partly due to having those titles on the back burner from the old approach of quantity over quality. And then 17 months, a year and a half later, we'll get the event that the Fantastic Four and the Thunderbolts were setting up in this movie. Thanks to our friends at Empire Magazine, director Matt Shakman, Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige, and Galactus actor Ralph Ineson, we now have some specific clues that really line up in interesting ways with the promo footage we've been seeing of Galactus and some big stuff in the real world. This universe is an estimated 13.8 the cosmic microwave background. To extrapolate back to the big billion years, Galactus is canonically older than the universe itself, originating in the previous iteration of the universe, previously known as Galen of Ta. He gestated inside of a cosmic egg to survive the big crunch that destroyed the past universe and emerged after the Big Bang into this 7th iteration of the universe. Now, cosmic vampire, again, an interesting choice of words by the director, but it is that soup is the converted energy of a destroyed planet to tell. The coming of Galactus is one of the greatest comic book stories ever written. Fantastic Four number 48 through 50, the Galactus trilogy from 1966, which this movie seems to be adapting somewhat faithfully. In 2024, Marvel shared a link to the Future Foundation website that 6 and even better in the version 7. Often visual effects require you to take one step back before you take 2 steps forward as you're like reworking stuff. So they just show like a article by outlets like Murphy's Multiverse, and the comments include highlighting Galactus as, quote, terrifying, the best part, having incredible scale, ripped straight from the comics, and they describe the Galactus elements of the movie as giving the film some Lovecraftian sci-fi themes and a cosmic horror angle. In a number of videos, I've speculated that Galactus's focus on Earth isn't just to devour this planet out of hunger, but to target Reed and Sue's child, baby Franklin Richards, an Omega-level mutant and a reality warper whose older form has a unique bond with Galactus in later era type comics. Of protection and that type of base. The CGI is great. We see Reed stretching and using his powers. The Silver Surfer almost reaches Sue's belly. She wants a baby. Johnny takes over the ship's cannons and tries to shoot the Surfer. He makes jokes about her being sexy. Meanwhile, Sue continues to have contractions. Reed tells Ben to go into a black hole. Ben gets worried. Reed tells him to trust him. End of scene. Power from the power cosmic, endowed to her by Galactus. So Shalabal is, in this moment, surfing loops through the ship, phasing through its pressurized cabin, swiping at Sue and the baby, whiffing and grazing it in some cases, but then gliding back out into space for another pass as Johnny tries to shoot at her. And each time she comes into the cabin, Reed is using his stretchy abilities to move pregnant in labor soon out of the way. This CCXP scene must be at the end of the movie if they're going into a black Fantastic hole, ship arriving to the 616, which could also tie into the interpretation of the shot of Earth blowing up in the trailer, or maybe even the Watcher, projections and hypotheticals that could be shown to the Fantastic Four of what might happen to them in the future in the converted matter, the planetary forge, after a planet has been destroyed and turned into a consumist tries to reverse engineer his old dead universe. Fantastic Four First Steps in July 2020.